Vamos a guardar más un poco. Y ya estamos live. Ya. Hello guys, good evening. I am really thankful because you accepted the invitation to participate on this English session on our community. This is unbelievable. Today we'll be talking about one interesting topic that is gonna be a career in IT field or in IT sector. Since I know that you guys and me, we work in IT area, it's the first time that I prepare or I set like a topic specific in a specific sector or in a specific field. So today we are gonna learn about everyone's background because I'm sure that everybody here has a different background, but we all work for the same in the same field in the same area. So we are gonna start with the self presentation. Since you don't know each other, I believe it's valid to start with that part on this occasion. So let's start with that part. William, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Hello guys, I'm William. I'm 36 years old. I'm married, have a 8 years old son, and I live in São José dos Campos, of São Paulo. I'm a QA engineer for 5 years. Uh, in my free time, I like to run outside and ride a bike and play video games with my son and walk in park in my city with my wife, my family, and that's it.
Thank you so much, William. It's good to know that you balance your work with exercise because we as IT workers sometimes we just stay in front of the screen, but it's good to do some exercise. Thank you so much. And Laura, please introduce yourself to us.
Hey, I'm Laura. I'm 24 years old. I'm from João Pessoa, here in Paraíba, and I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree at computer engineering here at the Federal University of Paraíba. Um, I've been in the tech field for about 10 years now, and I'm passionate about using technology for accessibility and inclusive solutions. Currently, I work as a backend developer at Mercado Eletrônico, a company from São Paulo. And outside of work, I'm a dog person. I like to play with my dog, and uh, I love reading my free time. I need to do more exercise as well. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Laura, for being here as well. It's really interesting. I believe that we are going to share about a little bit about our background. So to finish this part, my name is Christian Jimenez. I am from Bolivia. I currently live here in Brazil. I work in IT area like you guys, and I've been working in that field for almost 12 years. I currently work for a Brazilian institution. That's why I'm living here. I moved to Brazil in 2021 with my wife. So I'm married. Let me see what else. I try to do exercise, as I mentioned it, because it's important. Because we almost spend almost all of our time sat in front of our screen, so we have to try to find that balance. I believe that's it a little bit about me. So let's move on to the question number one. What motivated you to pursue a career in IT field? I would like to know from you, Laura, how you were like, who influenced you, or uh, how did you decide to start on this area?
Mm, I've always been interested interested in using technology for accessibility, but I think the beginning of it all was because an early exposure to logic and programming through science Olympiads at school. So it started mm, at a young age, like 13 years old. And what drives me is the potential to make a real difference through technology, especially in creating inclusive solutions for people with disabilities. That's what is my currently motivation, current motivation.
That was lovely. So you intend to use your skills, your abilities in order to provide accessibility or different products or solutions for those who have perhaps some difficulties or perhaps some incapabilities. I'm not sure if that's the word. So yeah, that's a really good motivation to like start doing it or start or trying to enhance your skills in order to provide that kind of support to for others. That's a good motivation. Thank you so much, Laura. What about you, William? What motivated you to start in this area? How was it?
Okay, in my case, I have always liked technology in general. Even before I started working in this field. I have always had that natural talent for tech stuff, because of that, the dream of working in the tech world started to grow in me. The benefits come along too, like working from home, for example, and being in a field which with such high demand, that companies actually reach out with job offers. It's very different from other areas, where you have to chase every opportunity. Uh, in tech, you often receive invitations for interviews, and I think that's amazing and motivates me to stay in this field. That's it.
Yeah, working from home has become like the greatest advantage for people who work in this sector. There is a specific question about that, but we are gonna wait for that. So it's good to know that you always like love it working with technology, perhaps with different appliance or just utilizing the tools that you had at that moment. Well, in my case, it wasn't like well, my mom always told me that I was good with computers, but sometimes we think that just because we can install games or we can like download things that are kind of difficult for others, we think that we are good with computers, and we realize that when we go really deeper to the career and we notice that it is not like that. We have to like learn how to code. We have to learn the logic that for me was really abstract at the beginning. Yeah, everything seems kind of abstract. That's my point of view for someone who don't know really who don't really know or who doesn't really know what he or she is gonna do for a living with IT area. Um, Specifically if that person is working in developing software developing area. So yeah, so when I started, I didn't know what I was going to do when I finished my career. I was like driven by my older brother because he was already started in that field, and I said, okay, he's doing that, perhaps I will be able to do the same. So yeah, for me the first years were kind of difficult. I just like started I started like enjoying the career at the final of my studies, because that was the time that I really understood what I was going to do, or I started enjoying more coding and like creating things with code. So yeah, in my case, my background was like that. So, but nowadays I am in love with that. I believe that it was a good choice. There are a lot of good advantages that we can have just for being in this area. And that's it about me. So let's move on to the question number two. William, could you please read the second one and answer it?
Okay. In my case, I started in the IT field as a tester. This was an opportunity because a big tech company was hiring and training people with no experience. I was only doing manual tests, but with time and as projects grow, I learned more about test automation and software quality in general. And today I work as a quality guardian in my team, helping developers, POs, and stakeholders, and that's it.
That's great to know that you like doing that kind of work. Well, in my case, I have to confess, I'm not sure what I know that like the test part is a different word from the development part. Well, perhaps then we shared some things that you can automatize different things with by coding. But when I have to write tests, I don't like that. I have to confess that I believe testing for me is something that I don't enjoy doing so much, but I know that it's important, and a good developer has to know how to create or how to write tests as well. So thanks so much, William, for how shared it. Laura, what about you? Which area of IT did you start with and why?
I started with embedded systems and robotics. During my first semester, I did a project using Arduino, and after that, I spent 4 years as a robotic instructor, teaching basic electronics, sensor handling, and Arduino programming. I also participated in the Robotics and Automation Societies, which is part of I3Z, I3E, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. I don't know if you guys heard about it. That is a technical organization dedicated to advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. Um, and later, I transitioned into backend development through an internship. But when I was about to start, they relocated me to another team that was focused on data engineering, basically. Well, data. It was a team focused on data, where I worked for a year and a half, I guess. And finally, in the last 3 months, I've been working with backend. Uh, After all this time, they moved me again, and I'm working with backend right now, backend
Thanks,
developer.
thanks so much. That's really interesting, Laura. Well, in my case, I started as a junior backend developer. When I finished my career, I got my first job working with C Sharp. And as a matter of fact, I still work with C Sharp with databases like SQL Server, MongoDB. And I've been working with that in that area until now. I sometimes I went to some projects where I had to work with front end as well. So I learned how to use well, JavaScript, HTML, libraries like React, yes, the framework of Angular, but most of the time I work in the back end. So I am currently working in the back end as well. And yeah, it seems kind of something like it became like a routine. Perhaps I need more or different challenges for my professional career. And I would like to ask you guys because you mentioned that you had like a transition. Uh, Laura, from my view, I think that working with robots or like really touching or seeing what you are creating, like a robot moving, from my view, is kind of more interesting that like coding and creating something like that is virtual that is in your computer. How was it? How was your transition from working with robots and going to creating software?
Well, not gonna lie, it's more fun. I think it's more fun to I'm more engaged to work with robotics than with software development. But the market here it don't flows. I don't have many opportunities. I didn't have had
Mhm,
many opportunities, so that was the main reason that I decided to change.
mhm. Okay, so there are more opportunities for software development than like for those who work with robotics or those kind of stuffs.
Well, we have some
Mm-hmm,
opportunities here in Brazil, not in the north east area, but it's basically located at the south.
mm-hmm,
So we need to like I forgot the word, but we need to move there
mm-hmm.
to
Okay,
get
got it.
a good opportunity.
Got it. To relocate to another place in order to find better opportunities. Thank you so much, Laura. William, what about you? You told us that you started working with IT 5 years ago. Before that, what was your profession or what were you doing? And how was your transition from your last profession, your last job, to IT for your current job?
Oh, my career transition,
Yeah.
you say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I worked in construction, civil construction,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, before the start in IT. And when a big tech company um, started activities in my city in Florianopolis, in I my gosh, in my
Mm-hmm.
college the professor um, uh, como se diz, o professor trouxe essa informação de que viria uma Big Tech para a cidade e poderia se
Mm-hmm.
inscrever pessoas sem experiência.
Mm-hmm.
And I subscribed in this opportunity
Mm-hmm.
and uh, make a exam in the company and before I started in the position as a tester in the company.
That's a great. That was really interesting because nowadays I cannot see so many like companies or enterprises that offer that those kind of chances for people who want to do that kind of transition. Well, it was a really good. You got that opportunity and you did it. So you got it. It's amazing the way that you did it. Thanks so much, William and Laura, for sharing your experience and your experience in general. And let's move on to the question number three. William, could you please read the third one and answer it?
Yeah. What challenges do beginners commonly face when entering entering the tech industry? I believe the main challenge is getting a job to start building experience, like an internship, for example. Uh, Today, this can be even harder with the progress of AI. For example, um, s- someone companies are using it to replace the developer juniors by automating simple tasks that a junior or an intern would normally do, for example, is my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I believe that nowadays there are a lot of software developers, or not that software developers, people who has like started a career in IT area in different sectors, and it's like overcrowded. There are a lot of professionals, and there are as well so many companies. But I believe that like getting the first chance, your first opportunity is the most difficult one. So I totally agree with you, William. What about you, Laura? What do you think about it? What is the most common challenges that beginners face when they start the career or the industry in the industry?
Mm. Generally, many beginners experience like anxiety about the employment, like uh, he said, like William said, especially like since the field's growth created unrealistic expectations about immediately landing opportunities. Like you're gonna start your career and you're gonna start your college, and after a semester you're gonna get a job. That's most of the times that's not realistic. And there's also the constant learning curve for new frameworks, libraries, and version controls systems, and that's mentally exhausted because the pressure to continuously do learn while do you're doing an excellent job, quality work, and that often leads to an burnout. And additionally, as a woman, I faced some gender-based challenges like female rivalry, being encouraged, and some comments suggesting that women have it easier, uh, which creates a hostile environment.
I couldn't agree more with you. Well, actually, I didn't want to touch that topic in this occasion because I know that it's something that sometimes it happens. Well, I already heard a lot of testimonies about women who were like I forgot the word I wanted to use. Perhaps they are not like considered as good as men in IT area. It's something like an stigma that is created in this unfortunately has been created in this area. But you mentioned it that it's something unfortunately that is common. But I don't believe in that. I believe that as every single skill, everybody can do it with effort, with the studies, and it's something that is totally achievable. And you are like a good example for that. And something that you said about the expectations, I believe that it's not. I believe that social media and the amount of new courses that are over there online, which offer like in 3 months, 6 months, you will be working like in multinational company and earning in dollars if you take this course. I believe those kind of courses or even influencers, I can call them, that they contribute like to this kind of fake expectations, unfortunately. And yeah, it had become like a trend. Like people think that in 6 or 1 year of studying or like completing a course, they will be able to find a job and earn like high salaries. They have to understand that it's gonna be a process. Obviously, obviously there are people who are like really high skilled and they have that possibility to get those kind of high salaries when they just start working, but it's not for everybody. So I'm gonna say that it's something that contribute to that like false expectation and it leads to frustration. Yeah, and another point, important point that you mentioned is that there are a lot of things to learn, and sometimes we can feel lost because there are a lot of information over there and you don't know what you have to study, if you have to continue in your language or and there is a new language that is coming. A lot of people are moving to that side, and at the beginning I believe it's so difficult to handle that stress. So yeah, it's painful, it's not like Disneyland, like other people out of this area think it is. So yeah, that's it about my from my view. Thanks so much, guys, for have shared this part. Let's move to the next question. How important is it to specialize early versus exploring multiple areas of IT? William, what do you think about it?
I think when you start your career, you should look at the whole field, learn about the different jobs in IT, so you can choose the one that fits you best, or area. The IT has many different roles, and they are all important. After learning about a few, you should pick one direction and become a specialist in it.
I couldn't agree more with you, William. I believe that like in every other, in any other area, it's important like to try to find out what you like to do. It can be like designing, it can be like testing, developing, uh, even managing projects, or being like a scrum master. I believe it's important to try to find what you really like to do. And when you find it, like try to specialize in that specific point. Another thing about like specific technologies, I think that it's important to learn the basis because sometimes we on new professionals, they tend to go to the latest frameworks, to the latest version of different language of programming, but they don't they don't take care or they don't worry about the basis, like it's the logic, design patterns, clean code, that from my view is the most important part for a software developer, and they just want to go to the more trendy technologies. So I believe it's important as well to just focus on one or two, and like don't care so much about the others new things that are coming because you will get confused easily. So it's something that I wanted to share as well. And Laura, what do you think about it?
From my experience, exploring multiple areas helps you identify what you're passionate about it and enables you to work in roles that requires cross-functional knowledge, like full stack development and or like something applied for let me think, AI applied in some area, robotics, for example. However, specializing early can accelerate your path to senior positions since you become an expert faster. So I'll I'll agree with you, Christian, that I'd say explore initially, then specialize based on what resonate with you.
Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you so much, William, for have shared your insights. Let's move on to the next question. I believe it's a really interesting one. What skills do you think every IT professional should have, regardless of their role? What do you think about it, William?
Um, I think two very important skills for any technology professional are critical thinking and communication. But there are other very important skills too, like uh, knowing how to work in a team, being a self-learner. It's very important, and always trying to update your knowledge. I believe that with these skills, a professional can be more complete in our area in the IT.
Yeah, self-learning is something I believe is essential in this area because you will have to be learning every single day something new in order to like get upgraded and don't become like obsolete. Unfortunately, in our field, we have to learn we need to try to find new acknowledge in order to like as I already said getting upgraded. Laura, what do you think about it? What kind of different skills like IT professionals should have?
Well, there's the hard skills and the soft skills. About the soft skills, yeah, I agree with William. The priority is communication. You need to have a good communication with your team to make it work. And about like some hard skills, I would say logical thinking, uh, under, like understand a little bit of agile methodologies like Scrum. It's useful, and familiarity with cloud platforms. I think it's useful as well. Git proficiency with Git because you'll need it. There's no escape. You'll need it, and how to learn like merge conflicts, code refactoring, everything like that. I think that's the basic for everyone.
Yeah, I completely agree. And nowadays, I believe that we can include AI because I know that a lot of
Yeah.
companies are like asking for AI experience on developing. So yeah, but I didn't study something like that yet, so I need to like perhaps find something that I can to apply or can I can learn from AI and apply in my current job as well. And I have a
Most
question. Go ahead,
Christian,
please.
I think the most commonly is generative AI, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
The Everyone is asking right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
the trending topic.
Yeah. Well, I had a question that it's about about this question. It's about the skill that you mentioned, that is communication. Do you think that we, as IT workers, we are good communicators, or perhaps there is a like a stigma that we are like a lonely person over there in in the square of your room and working with just your computer? Do you think that we are good communicators or not? Laura, what do you think?
Well, if you asked me like 5 years ago, I would say completely for sure that that's true. But nowadays, I think it's changing a bit. Uh, I think everyone is trying to be a little bit more commun improve is trying to improve their communication skills because everyone there's a lot of people that is working remotely, so that's essential to make the team work.
Mhm,
So yeah, I think it improved.
mhm,
It's still there, but improved.
mhm. Yeah, I believe that it's even more difficult to be good a good communicator online because you don't have like the person in front of you. You cannot use perhaps your gestures, your hands. I believe the communication is different. But yeah, as you said, I believe that people are like trying to improve this part that is essential in when you work in a team, for example. And William, what about you? Do you think that we are good communicators as IT workers, or it's something that is a skill that we need to enhance?
Uh, in my teamwork, the professionals are good communicators. It's a mature team, and uh, uh, before it's no um, the person know are no good communicators, but it's better along the time. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's move to the next question. Let me see here. Laura, could you please read the sixth one and answer it?
And how do you stay updated with fast changing technologies? I follow tech channels on YouTube to learn new trends and tools, and I try to engage with the I3E community. Um, I I stay active on LinkedIn in tech communities where professionals share insights, articles, discussions. That's I think that's my main source. And I try to make a habit to read technical documentations for frameworks.
Yeah, I believe that, well, all of that information is over there in the documentation, and almost all of the documentation is over there for free. And yeah, I would say that as well from in my case. LinkedIn is my main source of information. I follow a lot of content creators who post articles or post like pieces of advices. I used to follow like content creators on YouTube, but I stopped it basically because I wanted to like improve my English skills. So I stopped like studying like more deeply my career, and I replaced it for English. But I have to come to return the next year because otherwise I will get obsolete. So yeah, I know but I believe. Mainly, my source of information or my source of knowledge nowadays is LinkedIn. What about you, William?
I like I agree with you and Laura. I like to keep an eye on tech communities. I follow on LinkedIn every day and always talk about the general tech market with my coworkers and my friends. This way, I am always aware of new technologies, and can stay updated in a relevant way. And I like it to watch movies in YouTube too every day about about new technologies and new tools in tech. That's it.
Thank you so much, William and Laura. Let's move to the next question. Let me see here is the question number 7. What do you see as the biggest advantage of working in IT industry? I'm gonna start with that one. Personally, I believe that the biggest advantage that I currently have is working from home and from another state because the main branch of my company or the institution that I work for is in Sao Paulo and I am living in Curitiba. So I have like that kind of flexibility. And sometimes when I need to travel to another place, to another country, sometimes I go to Bolivia to visit my family. I can do it from there without so many problems. Obviously, I cannot stay there for so long, so, but I believe that is one of the biggest advantages working from home. And if you have the chance or if you and another thing that I gonna add is like you use your same resources, your computer, your keyboard, your mouses, in order to study. So you don't need to go to the a specific place. You don't need to commute to another place like to study a degree or a post graduation program. You have everything in the same place that in your office here in your computer, and with your gadgets. So it's from me, from my view, it's a good advantage as well. I'm not gonna talk salaries because I know that not everybody has like the chance to have like those dream salaries. But for those who have that chance are high skilled, I know that for them it's like good advantage. Laura, what do you think about this question?
Mm, I'll say remote work first, because being from João Pessoa, where the tech market isn't as expanded, remote work allowed me to be hired by my current company and earn a better compensation, assess opportunities that would be geographically limited for me. And plus, there's the difference that in the tech field, the IT industry, we can apply like the all the our work in different areas. For example, if I like the medical field, I can work with AI applied in the medical field. So that's a great possibility for us. We can choose uh, other fields without leaving the IT industry.
Yeah, that's really curious that sometimes people think that just people who work or has people who have skills with computers, just them has the possibility to move to IT area, and that's not real because, as you said, there are many products which work for different areas for medical. There are medical products. There are for civil construction, for entertainment industry. So people who already work in that area, but not specifically in the technical area, they can move to IT area, like working like for project manager. So those people who show the developers how to create the product or how is the logic of the product. So I believe it's IT area is open for everybody who are for everybody from my view. Yeah, that's my opinion. Thank you so much, Laura. And William, what do you think about the biggest advantage of working in IT industry?
Okay, I agree with you and Laura. And for me, two things I see as a very important in the tech industry are the chance for remote work. How do you say? This is a privilege for me because I can be close to my family and watch my son grow up better. The other big advantage for me is the high demand for jobs in IT. Every month I get invited to interviews from companies in Brazil and even abroad. That's a great advantage for me. For example, I did two selection processes in October and got job offers from both companies. If I were fired from my current job, I could choose one of the two offers and would not be unemployed.
Thanks so much, William. And I have a question for you guys that is not here on our list. Would you like to move to another country? Because I know that for developers or IT workers who are like combining their high skills with English, it is because perhaps they want to move to another nation, to another country, or receive a salary in dollars or euros. Do you have perhaps something, you plan something similar for your professional life? Laura, you could start.
That's a tough one. Because I am still debating about it. Well, I want to get an opportunity abroad because dollar or euros, well, I want to earn more. But about moving abroad, I don't know. I love João Pessoa. I enjoy my city. I love my country. So the people, I think the people, it's the most like precious thing for me. I love Brazilians, the Brazilian feeling, uh, and also there's my friends, family, everyone. So if it's something that I need to do for like a big opportunity or something like that, I will do it, but it's not a priority in my
Mhm.
life.
Got it. That's really interesting. Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing. In my case, I am pursuing that dream. I would like to move to another country. Well, actually, I already did it because I am from Bolivia and I am currently living here in Brazil, and that's why I am trying to level up my English. And as a matter of fact, I am trying to learn French as well because we want to try to go to Canada. And in Canada, if you speak French and English, that combination is kind of powerful. Yeah, but let's see if that's gonna happen. William, what about you? Would you like to move to another country?
I have a dream like you. I have a dream to work to move in another country, especially Canada too, or another. But I have parents and friends in Canada, in Montreal. I I dream with this.
That's great. You already have some relatives over there that can be helpful for you for your process. Thank you so much, William. I hope that we are gonna do it. For Laura, I'm sure that you will have many opportunities abroad, so just be ready for that
I'm
next
reading
step.
out for you guys.
Thank you guys for have sharing and have shared. And let's move on to our. I believe it's gonna be our last question. I'm not sure. Let's move on to the question number. Let me see here. I'm gonna pick up the 12th one. Okay. What what role does creativity play in areas like development, testing, of design? From my view, creativity is everything in our area because you are going to build things, you are gonna create things from scratch sometimes, and you need to think really carefully how you are gonna approach different solutions, and In fact, in software development, in testing, I'm sure, and in design, there are many different ways that you can solve the same problem, and it depends on it depends on the persons who is developing or writing the line of code. So it's something that is really interesting as well because there is not just one path. I believe maths works the same thing. There are different paths that you can follow to go to the same results. So I believe that from my view, creativity is key and is crucial in our area, like in others as well. But that's my view in our case in IT area. So William, what do you think about it?
Yes, in my opinion, creativity is a important key in IT. In development, it creates new and smart solutions for problems, for hard problems sometimes. In design, it is vital to make user experience that feel right and are easy to use. And in testing, in my area, creativity helps you think of unexpected situations, make sure the software quality is as high as it can be.
Yeah, you have to prevent potential problems like can happen ahead. So it's a skill that you have to develop. Thank you so much, William. You were muted.
Before production,
Mhm.
solve problems.
Yeah, you have to think in the future, not just in the present. Thank you so much, William. And Laura, what about you?
Well, creativity is everywhere in tech. In development, it's about finding solution to complex problems and thinking outside the box when you're stuck. Um, it's about how you approach the problem solving. Sometimes the best solution isn't the most obvious one. So that's when the creativity kicks in. Um, in design, it's creating. I think it's for creating user experience that are intuitive and enjoyable. And even in testing, you need creativity to think of scenarios that might break your system. So yeah, that's a shout out to everyone in the quality area because when I do my code, I think it's awesome and it's working. There's always someone that's gonna keep clicking that functionality that I didn't even think of. That's creativity. And I think creativity is important too because we have the power to create a lot of products and technologies to change someone's life and to make a difference. That's from I think that's my priority for uh, creativity. It's to think of the possibilities.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, in conclusion, creativity is everywhere in IT area. As I just said, there are many products that sometimes we think, oh, I have something really special. Perhaps it can be something, a potential good product, but when you go over there and you Google, you realize that somebody else already did that. So it's nowadays I believe it's really difficult to create something new. Perhaps you can
Mhm.
create something better, but I'm not sure it's something new. It's kind of
Based on something
uh-huh, that already
that
exists.
is already exists.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
most common.
Yeah, that's the most common one nowadays. Thanks so much, guys. And let's tackle the last question. This is the 15th one, but really brief because we don't have so much time. What advice would you give to someone choosing their first direction in IT? William, What advice would you give to someone who is just starting in IT area?
Try out different technologies in practice to find what you really like, not just choosing based on trends or current salaries. Focus on building on strong technical base. This will give you the flexibility to move between specializations as you grow professionally.
That was a really good advice, really piece of advice, William. Thank you so much for sharing. And Laura, go ahead. What advice would you give to someone who is like jumping in IT sector?
Well, I have a few. Like avoid comparing yourself to others, explore areas before specialize. I think that's interesting. Uh, well, the field demands continuous learning, so keep your mind active. Master logic and data structures. That's a very good information for before you take job interviews.
Hmm.
Um, get comfortable with your I- ID, like before explore extension tools to help with your work. Learn Git. That's that's very good and useful for you. Join communities for network and create a strong LinkedIn presence to showcase your projects, connect with professionals, and uh, finally, learn English.
Hmm. Learn English because it's the base. Everything is written in English. Well, I think
Exactly.
so. Or at least 90% of the things are written in English. Thank you so much, Laura. And something I would like to add, if you want to learn Git, please learn the basis. So if you learn the commands of Git, working with like the interface is gonna be easier. So you will understand everything that is happening in the background. And something I would like to add as well is try to find a tutor or a mentor. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are already working in this field who will be willing to help you. So it's good to have a tutor who will show you the path because that guy or that guy has already like struggled so many times with the same thing. So I believe having a tutor is great. It's a good strategy. And that's it for today's guys. We run out of time today. We don't have time for like expressing our the things that we've learned today. I hope to see you the next session that is gonna take place the next Monday, the same time. And that's it. Have a good night and hope to see you in the next session. Bye bye, guys. It was a
Bye
pleasure.
bye. See you later.
See you later. Ciao, ciao.